Hey guys, it's Thunderkleize here, and this is basically my ending of Fallout New Vegas. I'm actually doing it backwards here. This is the credits. The credits actually come after the ending. I mean, obviously, if you haven't finished it. But it's easier for me to talk over the credits than it is for me to talk over the ending where there's actual dialogue or, vocalization. So I decided to do it this way. Sorry I haven't been putting up videos lately. I've been 100% addicted to Fallout New Vegas. It is a fun game. If you played Fallout 3, I definitely suggest picking it up. If you're new to like the hybrid shooter RPG games, maybe you should rent it. But the game overall is really fun. There are a lot of bugs and glitches in the game, which is incredibly disappointing. It feels like they didn't really beta test it much. It feels like it got kind of pushed out of the studio just to meet the deadline, which is disappointing. Bethesda, who developed the first game, not the first Fallout, Obsidian developed the first Fallout. Bethesda, who developed Fallout 3, which was bought from Obsidian, I want to say. I'm not 100% positive on that, so don't quote me. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Bethesda bought the rights from Fallout, or bought the Fallout rights from Obsidian to make Fallout 3. Then, in turn, Bethesda enlisted Obsidian to do Fallout New Vegas, and Bethesda gave Obsidian like the engine and all the resources that they had basically to help move the game along a little bit faster. I will say Bethesda did a little bit better job than Obsidian did, but that might have been like on a schedule type of deal, like because Obsidian didn't have enough time to polish it. It got released as is, but hopefully they will be patching this thing left and right, because right now with the freezing issues and bugs, it is completely frustrating. But so if you do get it, or if you have it already, you probably already do, but I suggest save often so that way you don't lose, like hours, if not like just like a half hour. To me, losing a half hour of game time kills me, because I hate playing the same thing over and over again. With that being said, yeah, Fallout New Vegas, a lot of fun. The crafting I thought was a nice addition. I also think that the additional ammo types is a nice addition. It helps make the game a little bit more dynamic, so that is nice. The map is a little bit smaller than Fallout 3. Well, I think it's about half the size. I guess I didn't really measure it, but it is noticeably smaller than Fallout 3, which Fallout 3 was like compartmentalized, basically. Like there is like a bunch of areas that you can only get to, say, if you went through the subway and yada yada yada. But in this, basically, if you can see it, you can walk there, which really it adds to the technical issues, because there's a lot of pop-in. There's a lot of like structure pop-in, enemy pop-in, texture pop-in, that sort of deal. Kind of pulls you out of the experience a little bit. What I do really like about Fallout New Vegas is the iron sights that they added. When I was playing through on my first gameplay here, I almost never used VATS. I only used VATS for short range. That way, it's a little bit harder to use the iron sights at close range, so that's why I just switched over to VATS when I got extreme close range. But for long distance shooting, I would recommend iron sights like all the way, because even like with the sniper rifles or the scoped rifles, it won't allow you to actually use VATS at a long range, because it won't recognize the enemy being that far away. So you will have to fire iron sights or scope sights, I guess. What else do I want to talk about here? Oh, I will say the reason that this gameplay or this commentary didn't get out as soon as it did was because I woke up with a cold today, a nose and throat cold. I don't know if you can tell with my speech, but Yeah, I woke up with a pretty, well, it's not awful, but it is kind of annoying. But this is the ending of my Fallout New Vegas game. I hope you enjoy the results. I'm not going to talk over it, but anyways, you guys have a good one. Later.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. The courier, with the aid of Yes Man, drove both the Legion and the NCR from Hoover Dam, securing New Vegas's independence from both factions. With Mr. House out of the picture, part of the Securitron army was diverted to the Strip to keep order. Any chaos on the streets was ended quickly. Chaos became uncertainty, then acceptance with minimal loss of life. New Vegas assumed its position as an independent power in the Mojave. Supporting the ideals of independence, the courier was recognized as the man responsible for a truly free New Vegas. He ensured Mr. House's tyranny was broken, and neither Caesar's Legion nor NCR would ever gain control over New Vegas.
With little law left in the wasteland, the Brooms continued to defend themselves against the prospectors and scavengers invading their territory.
After the courier ensured New Vegas remained free, the followers found that independent Vegas was even more unstable and violent than before. Old Mormon Fort became excessively burdened by the influx of patients, struggling to provide even the most basic of services.
With New Vegas's independence formally declared, Good Springs thrived. More travelers stopped by Good Springs on their way to and from the Strip, and the locals grew prosperous from the traffic.
Cass lived to see the courier bring down 3 armies, and by her count, that was 3 more than she'd expected. She kept quiet about that, though.
With no cure for the Nightkin schizophrenia in sight, the disgruntled Nightkin left Jacobstown. Without a treatment, their insanity grew. The crazed Nightkin terrorized the wasteland, and Jacobstown suffered repeated reprisals from mutant-hating humans. In the end, the surviving mutants abandoned Jacobstown entirely, its existence quickly forgotten by the rest of the wasteland.
Lily continued to take her medicine at half doses, and although she remembered her grandchildren, her mind remained muddled and confused. Eventually, she parted ways with the courier and traveled west, seeking the remnants of her past.
The Kings retained their control of Freeside, and while they continued to favor the needs of locals, they tolerated the citizens of the defeated NCR.
After Ray's brain was transplanted into Rex's cybernetic body, it took Rex some time to adjust to the old scrapyard dog's memories. Eventually, Rex's mind settled peacefully, melding his own memories with that of long travels with old Lady Gibson.
Though Novak was a low-priority target for the Legion, many of Novak's citizens died in its defense. In the weeks that followed, several bright followers returned to Novak to help restore its defenses, allowing it to remain independent of NCR.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
Armed with a wide array of improvised explosives and stolen weapons, the Vault 19 powder gang tormented the Mojave Wasteland for years. Citizens of the NCR were favorite targets, and they always suffered the worst fates.
Prim Slim proves to be an able-minded, if not able-bodied, sheriff for Prim. And due to his slow speed, some crooks get away without a scratch. But Prim continues to prosper under his watchful robotic eye. And so the courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.